Hey, guys. Trevor ran a hand through his hair. I'm around fighting kids 24/7 because the joys of parenthood don't stop when you bring them on tour with your wife, so let's just break for today, all right? Braden, one of my protégés, chose that minute to walk in, an extra pep in his step since getting engaged to his former life coach. He pulled a popsicle from his mouth and then jerked his chin over at me. Who died? That's it, I shot to my feet. I need a break. We were on a break, Ty felt the need to yell. Everyone fell into laughter, me included. All right, Braden, you can work on some of your own tracks since I've got the studio. And Drew, if you could kindly find someone to help pull those drumsticks out of your ass, that would be super duper. Roger, I winked. Hopefully she'll be hot. Stay away from my mom, dickface, Braden yelled. We all stared, and then I laughed. I'd been pining after her ever since our first meeting, but because I didn't want my protégé murdering me, I did the less fun and more creepy thing and ogled her when she wasn't looking. I also tried to engage in multiple conversations that ended up with her staring at me like she couldn't quite figure out why I was speaking. You do realize she's only 3 years older than me, right? He likes the mold. Ty held up his hand for a high five. Meanwhile, Braden looked as if he was ready to mow me over with the tour bus. Trevor whispered under his breath, I think that's your cue to leave, bro. Yep. I grabbed my guitar, shoved it in my case, and let the door slam behind me as I made my way into the dreary, salty ocean air. It was raining. Had been raining for 10 days straight. Seaside, Oregon, everyone. I used to think this was a place people went to die or retire, or maybe just really embrace their depression. Instead, it turned out to be one of my favorite places in the world. To the point where I was spending more time on the off-season with my bandmates here than I was back in LA. They were my family, after all, even if we were still semi-dysfunctional, and it helped that another band of friends, AD2, lived here along with Zane Andrews, a guy I toured with and was also, surprise fucking surprise, married with one kid and another on the way. I'd lived the high life so long, literally, that the minute I got my shit together and jumped off the train, it was like I'd missed everything that was important about your 20s. All the lessons. Instead, I'd made all the mistakes, and now that I was 36, kinda felt like I had nothing to show for it except a shit ton of money, fame, and scars from my past. So many scars. So much baggage I was sick from it. With a sigh, I put in my earbuds, and the tracks I'd laid earlier buzzed in my ears. I just needed the right lyrics. I made my way down the boardwalk, careful not to make eye contact. When you made eye contact, people recognized you, and wanted pictures, and pictures meant smiling, and talking, and doing all the other useless things humans did when they were impressed with what other humans did for a living and wanted to use it to brag on Instagram. I was so over it today. I didn't have the mental or physical energy to put on the mask and grin at someone's expensive phone. And feeling lonely, if I was being completely honest. All my bandmates had someone, and it wasn't like I hadn't tried. Hell, I'd even taken out Penelope, Ty's wife, before she gave me a firm no, put me in the friend zone, then promised to bother me forever until I found a wife who could actually put up with me. Her words. Maybe that was why I was complete shit at writing love songs. The only love I'd ever experienced happened to me when I was in my teens, then died a slow, painful death as I numbed myself with drugs. And now that I was in my 30s and touring again, while secretly trying to do a solo album, things just felt stale. That was the word. Stale. Like there was a path I was supposed to take, but nothing interested me enough to want to even take a step in any direction. I dodged a group of girls as I made my way past the aquarium. Shrieks followed by whispers and then footsteps against the cement. I picked up my speed. I was too slow. A tap, tap, tap hit me in the back. Are you Drew Amhurst? I hung my head. I wasn't like the rest of the guys. I didn't do fakes.